Okay, the Father wants me to ask you a question. And the question is this: will you have light in your dwelling? Exodus, the 10th chapter, verse 21. Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand toward the sky, and that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even a darkness which may be felt. So Moses stretched out his hand toward the sky, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days. Verse 23 says, they did not see one another, nor did anyone rise from his place for 3 days. But all the sons of Israel had light in their dwellings. If the power went out, if everything went dark around you, if there were no longer any YouTube to connect to, no longer any web pages to go to, if there was darkness, a darkness that could be felt, where we were disconnected by this darkness from everything and everybody, would we have light? Would you have light in your dwelling? You see, we are blessed by this community that we are a part of. We are blessed, and if you are a part of not only this YouTube community, but if you're part of a church family or a fellowship where you're being fed and nurtured and encouraged, where you are assembling yourselves together, not forsaking it as the man of some is, but where you are in an environment that you are loving and encouraging and provoking one another to love and good works. If you are in that kind of environment, then you're blessed, and you can fellow, and you can rejoice. But what if all of a sudden the lights went out and you didn't have that kind of fellowship? You couldn't go to the small group meeting. You couldn't assemble like you've been accustomed to assembling with the saints. But what if you just had to shelter in place? You couldn't go nowhere. You couldn't talk to nobody. You couldn't see nobody. You couldn't tweet. You couldn't text. Would there be light in your dwelling? They did not see one another, nor did anyone rise from his place for 3 days. What if it was just you and him? Just his spirit and yours. But all the sons of Israel had light in their dwellings. How do you have light in your dwelling? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He's the God that said, "Let there be light," and there was light. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being by him, and apart from him, nothing came into being that has come into being. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it, did not understand it. There came a man sent from God whose name was John. He came for a witness, that he might bear witness of the light, that all men might believe through him. He was not the light, but came that he might bear witness of the light. There was the true light, which coming into the world enlightens every man. See, when darkness descends, I didn't say if darkness descends, I says when darkness descends. Or should you be cut off from everything and everybody by the sudden disappearance of natural light, which you then have a supernatural light where you are in your dwelling. Verse 10 says, he was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. Do you know him? He came to his own, and those who were his own did not receive him, did not hear him, did not know him. He says, my sheep, they hear my voice, and they follow me. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, even to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory. Glory as of the only begotten from the Father, full of grace and truth. The right to become children of God. The right to the light. The children of Israel were children of promise. And when darkness fell, that supernatural darkness that could be felt, that darkness that was paralyzing, when they experienced that darkness, the children of Israel, they had a right to the light. Do you have a right to the light? See, will there be light in your dwelling when the darkness falls? They did not see one another, nor did anyone rise from his place for 3 days. But all the sons of Israel had light in their dwellings. Shine forth, beloved, as lights shining forth in a dark place. You are the light of the world. Nothing can put out that light. Nothing can interfere with that light. Though there be darkness all around us, we serve a God who is light. And his love is our light. Love that shines forth, even can pierce the darkest night. Will there be darkness in your dwelling? Be blessed real good. Maranatha, beloved.